Hello YouTube B3, you're back with another kicking vlog video. Today we have another little list that I put together about Legendary Pictures' MonsterVerse. You know, their Godzilla, King Kong expanded universe. Well, this universe can't survive off Godzilla and Kong alone. Hopefully we'll be getting solo films for other monsters like Rodan, who was first created in a solo film, in its own film. That'd be nice since Rodan is 100% going to be in the second Godzilla movie. So, yeah, you know, we really gotta step it up with all these monsters. We need more monsters if we're gonna have some kind of big, you know, destroy all monsters type brawl movie, which I'm sure will happen. But, yeah, these are the top 10 monsters I think we need in MonsterVerse. Number 10, T-Rex. Just a fucking T-Rex. Not like just a plain old normal T-Rex. That's boring. We get that in Jurassic World stuff. But Kong has always fought something that was kind of a variation of a T-Rex. And we didn't get his famous jaw-breaking move in Kong Skull Island. There was definitely an allusion to it. He tried to break the Skullcrawler's jaw like that. It just didn't happen. But, yeah, I mean, he definitely needs to break something's jaw at one point. And some kind of original monster based off the T-Rex would really work out. And we might talk about that later down the list. But for now, we'll just say some kind of original T-Rex based monster if they can't get the rights to another one that might exist. Number 9. Varan. Yes, Varan, the Unbelievable. Actually, I think is a really underrated kaiju. Once again, a monster that had its own solo film. I don't think it's popular enough to give it its own solo film again. I don't think it is. But I definitely think Varan should be in MonsterVerse. Flying lizard creature. He's very cool looking. A minor monster, so you could kill him off quick and not have to worry about it, but you could still have some kind of fan recognition and maybe get me a decent action figure of Varan because I don't have one. Excuse me. But once again, it is a Toho monster that has existed in Toho's monster universe from the Showa, you know, era of monster films. And, you know, I just think you could fit him in real easy. And, I don't know what the rights deal is with Godzilla monsters at Legendary. They definitely have the rights to Godzilla, King Ghidorah, Rodan, and Mothra. But beyond that, they might not have the rights to anybody. So I don't know. Because, like, you know, these monsters and stuff are really popular. Lots of the time you gotta pay for individual rights and things. But Varan's just the type of monster they use in these MonsterVerse films. A prehistoric creature that was awakened from its slumber by man doing shit. That's exactly what Varan is, and that's how they portrayed Godzilla, Kong, Skullcrawlers, everything. So Varan would fit right into the MonsterVerse. Number 8, Biollante. It's long overdue. We need Biollante in another film. Biollante is a really cool looking monster. The Biollante movie is good. Maybe when you reboot Biollante, skip the whole, like, girl's soul is inside the rose thing. Yeah, maybe skip that for these more scientific films. I mean, if they're really scientific, the monsters would die almost immediately because their organs would crush each other. But, and, you know, they wouldn't be able to intake enough food every day. But still, you know, I suspend my disbelief. I love it. And Biollante is really just perfect. It could be some kind of experiment on, you know, some kind of flora they found on Skull Island or something that went totally wrong. It could be just like a carnivorous plant from Godzilla's time. It could be anything like that. It could be anything like that. They could really easily work Biollante in there. And Biollante's big enough, that's my cat, and enough of a threat to be a main monster villain in one of these movies. I really do believe that. Now my dogs are freaking out too. What is up? Maybe I'm about to get murdered. I don't know. But yeah, Biollante is definitely one they should consider. Number 7, it's the Gigan. Yeah, Gigan would make it very easy to introduce the concept of extraterrestrials into the MonsterVerse. You wouldn't have to have like a whole alien invasion thing if you didn't want to. But Gigan could be just a monster that's from space, like it cracks out of an asteroid or something. I've seen completely biological looks for Gigan that weren't cybernetic, where the claws were more bone-ish, and they look cool. They work. Still doesn't explain how he flies, but it works. And, yeah, the biggest reason it's on this list is because it could introduce aliens into the MonsterVerse, the concept of extraterrestrial life, blah, blah, blah. I already said that shit. But also, Gigan's one of, like, my top 5 favorite kaiju of all time. Probably, yeah, number 1 or 2, actually. I love Gigan. So, I would really, absolutely love Gigan to appear in MonsterVerse. Number 6, Hedorah. Hedorah, the smog monster, has been a very relevant monster for decades. It's a monster created out of pollution. And right now we're living in a time where the government is trying to shut down the EPA. They're cutting regulations, which is making it legal to destroy our environment. You know, we can dump coal dust in streams and stuff now, and there's like no repercussions almost for destroying the environment anymore. The government's just cutting back and cutting back, and the message that another Hedorah film could bring would be great. People have been calling for a Hedorah Godzilla vs. the Smog Monster movie remake for quite a while. We're getting our Godzilla vs. Kong remake we wanted, and now a Hedorah remake would be pretty awesome, actually. I think it would work out. Number 5, the Gargantuas, Sanda and Gyla. Yes, they are the two kind of Bigfoot-like monsters from War of the Gargantuas, which is a sequel to Frankenstein Conquers the World, aka Frankenstein vs. Baragon. And that movie would probably, like, stand on its own, even in the MonsterVerse. A new War of the Gargantuas film, because War of the Gargantuas is a pretty fucking good picture. A modern remake would really be great, actually. You could easily explain the Gargantuas away as being, like, not the same species as Kong, but maybe the same genus. Yeah, because they are biped ape creatures. And even Sanda could team up with Kong to take down Gyla. Gyla could be, like, much bigger than the both of them. And, you know, Sanda and Kong are more like the protector type of monster, you know? So I think they would really work great together. Sanda and Gyla, you know, and then there's Kong. Kong will get along great with Sanda. They fight Gyla. I mean, you wouldn't even have to have Kong. Just another War of the Gargantuas without Kong or Godzilla would be fine, too. But, yeah, they would work great in MonsterVerse. Just change their origin, is all. Number 4, it is the one you were waiting for. Gore Asaurus. Yes, Gore Asaurus is kind of the thing I was talking about in number 10 with this T-Rex offshoot that was created. It was a monster that was created for King Kong Escapes, a T-Rex type creature for Kong to fight. That wasn't a T-Rex, though. Because they wanted Kong to fight more like monster type things in that film, which I think is much better than dinosaurs. The dinosaurs, we're done with those. Just have Kong fight monsters from now on. I'm dead serious. That was one of my favorite things about Skull Island, is how it was monsters on the whole island instead of just dinosaurs. I can see dinosaurs in any movie, man. I mean, I still love to watch Kong fight dinosaurs, but I've seen him do that in several films. So having all these monsters like the skull crawlers and the bamboo spider, pterodactylus, all that junk, very, very cool. What the fuck was I talking about? Gore Asaurus. Yeah, so Gore Asaurus is a monster that connects the Kong films to the Godzilla films Toho-wise, because Gore Asaurus appears in Destroy All Monsters to fight King Ghidorah alongside Godzilla and several other creatures. He's kind of got this big head, and a thing he does is, like, he has this kangaroo-type kick attack. Very strong hind legs. This motherfucker knocked King Ghidorah on its back in one blow. The King Ghidorah. One kick. That's tough. Gorosaurus should be a bit more popular. And, you know, if we get Gorosaurus in these movies, then we get a cheaper Gorosaurus action figure, because the Gorosaurus figures are just really expensive. The only problem is getting the rights. I'm not sure how the rights stuff is working for Legendary and Godzilla, if they just have the rights to all Godzilla monsters, which I doubt, or they're just picking and choosing. And it'd probably be easier for them to just make an original T-Rex type looking monster instead of getting Gorosaurus. But Gorosaurus would have some fan recognition. Not a lot, but hardcore fans would definitely recognize Gorosaurus. Number 3, Anguirus, Anzilla, whatever you want to call him. The first monster Godzilla ever fought, and his sidekick throughout the Showa series, Anguirus. One of my all-time favorite monsters, probably the 6th most popular Godzilla monster. Yeah, I'd say easily 6th. Godzilla, Mothra, King Ghidorah, Rodan, Mecha Godzilla. After all them, Anguirus. He's a very cool monster. Kind of Stegosaurus, Ankylosaurus inspired. Spiny armadillo back. And he's really cool. He wasn't used in the Heisei series. Bad decision, in my opinion. Used a lot in the Showa series. Good decision. And used once in the worst movie of the Millennium series. So, whatever. Yeah, pissed me off. But we need more Anguirus. He would be recognizable. Once again, the exact type of monster that is in MonsterVerse. Prehistoric creature awakened from its slumber, crawling out in modern day because of radiation and shit. Exactly the same type. That's even the motherfucker's original origin. So, What the fuck? It's a box. Anguirus is the perfect choice to join MonsterVerse. I don't know, like, he should be in it. Number 2, Batra. If you don't know who Batra is, it's like this evil moth creature that appeared in Godzilla vs. Mothra: The Battle for Earth in the Heisei series. And it was kind of like just a darker version of Mothra, who also wanted to protect the planet, but thought the best way to protect the planet was to destroy humans, while Mothra saw humans as part of the planet and insisted on defending them. Yeah, so Batra's like anti-hero Mothra. It's pretty dope. But I don't think Batra should appear in a Godzilla or Kong film. Batra should appear in a Mothra solo film. We definitely need a Mothra solo film. Mothra is 100% recognizable enough, even by American audiences, to have a solo film. And since Mothra will be in the second Godzilla film, you know, people, even if they don't recognize her, will then know who she is if they're watching these movies or even see a trailer. So, Mothra needs a solo film, Legendary. Make it happen. And, you know, Batra would be a good villain. Not even really a villain. You know, I think Batra might work best if Batra and Mothra have to put aside their differences to handle an even bigger threat, like they did in the Godzilla film, but a threat they actually take down. What would be a good threat? Uh-oh. Hedorah. Hedorah would be the perfect fucking monster for them to fight. Huge threat to the planet. It's made of pollution. The metaphor couldn't get any fucking clearer, people. Mothra and Batra fighting throughout a film, putting their differences aside to fight Hedorah, if done right, could be an excellent fucking film. Or just their differences aside to fight an original monster. I would love to see more original monsters as well, to be completely fucking honest, which I know will happen, so I'm not worried about that. Because that's just new figures and stuff. Look at me, I got my Skullcrawler over here, my Muto. Yeah, I love it, man. I love these original monsters. They're looking great, actually. Now, the number one monster that MonsterVerse needs is probably pretty obvious to some longtime kaiju fans. It's Mecha Godzilla. We have to have Mecha Godzilla. There are 2 monsters, other than Godzilla himself, that have to appear in every Godzilla series, in my opinion. King Ghidorah, who we already know is the big bad for Godzilla 2, and Mecha Godzilla. The righteous hand of justice. I mean, Mecha Godzilla was originally like an evil space robot. The first 2 films that appeared in. But I actually think Mecha Godzilla being built by humans to fight Godzilla works best, especially Kiryu, which was the Millennium Mecha Godzilla, which appeared in 2 films. We've had 5 Mecha Godzilla movies, and they're all great. And honestly, I think Mecha Godzilla could fucking carry a solo film. A Monarch solo film. With Mecha Godzilla hunting down less popular monsters. Like, because as these films go along, the world's gonna get covered in these creatures. They could have a movie of Mecha Godzilla and Monarch fighting things like Anguirus, Varan, these smaller monsters like Gore Asaurus and things that wouldn't really, you know, be too much of a problem for Mecha Godzilla to beat. You know what I'm saying? But also, there would have to be like a big bad in that movie that is difficult for Mecha Godzilla to defeat. And then things would go from there. You know, you gotta have some kind of real conflict. Movies. But yeah, I definitely think Mecha Godzilla is the monster that needs to appear the most. I mean, we already know that Mothra would be the number one if you know. Actually, there are 3 monsters that always need to appear in a Godzilla series. The third is Mothra. I just didn't think about Mothra because I've already talked about Mothra a bunch in this video. Oh. But yeah, that's it. Those are the top 10 monsters that need to appear in MonsterVerse. Tell me what monsters you think should appear in MonsterVerse. Or if you agree with my selections, disagree. I don't really care, man. I'm just some idiot online voicing my opinions. I don't matter. My opinions don't matter. Nothing matters. Nothing on this planet matters. Jeez, I just lost some subscribers. But, yeah, that's it. Thank you all once again for your support. Remember to rate, comment, and subscribe. Check out all the cool links in the description below. Facebook, Twitter, etc. And I'll be seeing you all later.